Brothers, I've been given the distinct honor of introducing tonight's speaker for Delta Chi's 50th anniversary. Born in Gadsden, Alabama, to Mr. Gilbert and Miss Adele McAlpin in 1954. Educated in the public school systems of Gadsden. Earned a bachelor's degree of science from Alabama A&M University. Father of two beautiful adult daughters, Brittany and Kiara, and a teenage son, Ian. Married to the former Rosalind Jackson, who's a Winston-Salem State University graduate. Yay. He was initiated in the Gamma Phi chapter in 1975. Life member number 32379. Was advisor at the Epsilon Psi chapter at Payne College. Charter member of the Asheville Alumni Chapter. Polemark of the Asheville Alumni Chapter. Middle Eastern Province Board member from 1988 through 89. Polemark of the Charlotte Alumni Chapter from 1991 to 1993. Chairman of the National C. Roger Wilson Leadership Conference, 1988 and 89. Assistant to two grand polemarks, Dr. McBride and Robert L. Harris. Charlotte Alumni Man of the Year, Keeper of Records, Middle Eastern Province, Senior Vice Province Polemark, Middle Eastern Province. Brother McAlpin is a member of the University Park Baptist Church in Charlotte, a member of the NAACP and the Macquarie YMCA. There's a lot to be said about this man, it seems. I've heard him speak about the KAPPA of my dreams. Intelligent, suave, a man of integrity and most high. If he'd been at SU, he'd be a Nupe from Delta Chi. I respect him, I've learned from him, and I've watched him grow. He's been training for leadership since 1954. So brothers, stand to your feet as I relinquish the mic. Honor the province polemark. He's with us tonight.
Here's the brother McAlpin, he's with us tonight. He's with us, God bless him, God bless him. He needs it. Here's the brother McAlpin, he's with us tonight. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. He wears a cap up in speech.
The Harry League, I stepped outside, I told Brother Lawson I was stepping outside to use the restroom. Really, got a little scared when I saw these brothers here from Delta Chi. DC I always tell Frank Lawson. And then when I came back, I decided really all I need to do is just say, brothers, it's been nice, the dinner was nice, let's go and party. Because Brother Harry Lee stole my speech. And I'm serious, he stole my speech. And I don't mean to step on anyone's toes, but I think I'm going to do that, like Brother Lee did. But the truth is the truth. And like I was telling Brother Mitchell and Brother Chris Martin up here, sometimes we got to hear what we need to hear, rather than getting you here and taking your ball and run home and get mad. Take it like a man. Say, I don't agree with you, brother, but I'm going to hang in there. Or either, brother, I agree with you. Finally, I understand where you're coming from. KAPPA Psi created an inspiration, a call to service. What would our founders say if they were here today? That is my title. What would our founders say if they were here today? But let me tell you, I am so glad, I am so delighted, I am so honored to be with you this evening on this momentous occasion. 50 years, Delta Chi is around. The charter has not been snatched. Oh, you've been spanked. And that's part of growing up. And I'm the one who spanked you. But that don't mean I don't love you. I just want you to do right. As Brother Lee said, You didn't pledge. And I'm sorry, Brother Mitchell, you got to hear that word. You know, we still use it every now and then. It's MIOP. But you didn't pledge Delta Chi. You pledged Kappa Alpha Psi. You need to get active with Kappa Alpha Psi.
To the day I die.
Till the day I die. Smell that sweet finally fly. Now, I had a call coming in. I'm going to see if that call is available now. If y'all would excuse me just a minute, it's a very important call that I want you all to hear. Let's see if we can get it to go through. If I can get a signal. All right, go ahead. I got you on. I got the 31st Grand Bowl Mother Kappa Alpha Psi, Brother Dwayne M. Mary Esquire. These brothers here will be at the 100 as well in Philadelphia.
Thank you. Y'all take care. Have a great time. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. You know, thank you, brothers. I apologize, but I felt like that you needed to hear from the top, our leader, someone who really cares about this fraternity and cares about you personally. I asked Brother Lawson not to say all those things about me because they're really not important. And I don't want you to remember any of those things about me, about any of those offices I held, because as I say, they're really not important. But there are three things that I want you to remember about me, and when the history book is written, I hope this is in the history book. I hope you can say Sheldon Jackpot McAlpin. He was nice, number one. Number 2, he was kind. And 3, that was Honeybee's boy. Wherever you see Jackpot, you're going to see Honeybee. Have you ever thought about what the founders would say if they were here today? I have. I think about it all the time. Especially when I had the pleasure of meeting 2 founders in my lifetime in Carpenter, Illinois in 1977. 2 years after I went over in 1975. What a great feeling it was. And I'm going to tell you, they were swagger, Brother Mitchell. They were swagger. Several years ago, there was an entertainer that made a couple songs back in our day, back in the 80s. And you see, when I left Alabama A&M, and I became a member of this fraternity, I was too legit to quit. And when times got tough and got hard, I knew I had to pray to make it today. And as I became Province Pole Mark and got involved with this great Middle Eastern province, because this is my family coming from the Southern province, I knew that it was hammer time. But you know, I want my frat brother Marvin Sapp to tell you what I really want to tell you. You see, since 1975, I myself have gotten wiser. I've gotten so much stronger, and I've gotten so much better. I've gotten better, and I know that. Marvin Sapp says this all the time. That's our frat brother. I've gotten wiser, I've gotten stronger, and I've gotten much better. In memory of our reverend founders, to our honorable and illustrious past Grand Pole Marks, to our 31st International Grand Pole Mark, Dwayne M. Merritt, Esquire, to the Pole Mark of the Winston-Salem alumni, Brother Chris Martin, to the past Pole Mark, the immediate past Pole Mark of the Winston-Salem alumni, Brother Ronald Buchanan, and to past Pole Mark of the Charlotte alumni, my good friend Frank Lawson, to the Pole Mark of the Durham alumni, Brother Harry Lee, to the Pole Mark of the Delta Chi, Brother Jared Mitchell, to the Pole Mark of the Omicron Sigma chapter, Brother Xavier Higgins, past and current members of Delta Chi and brothers all, good evening.
Good evening.
As Richard Snow always said, our executive director, it's good to be a Kappa. If you will repeat after me, it's good to be a Kappa.
It's good to be a Kappa.
Truly, God is good all the time, and I fully understand my purpose in this magnificent world. Brother Lawson, thank you for that introduction. But let me tell you a quick story about Brother Lawson. You see, as Charlotte alumni, we sit back in the room and we analyze and we look at brothers and see where their future is in the fraternity. And when I transferred and moved from Asheville to Charlotte, I was pretty much burnt out because I had done all the work. We had a small number of brothers, and I was one doing everything, and the brothers would pay, but they just wouldn't attend to see Roger Wilson anything, promise me anything. So when I got to Charlotte, the last thing on my mind was being Pole Mark of Charlotte alumni. And they asked me the first year to be Pole Mark, and I turned them down. The second year, they asked me to be Pole Mark, and they set me up and they said, hey, we've got a board with you. We got somebody going to work with you. We just need you to come in. We know your leadership. And we've done that for every Pole Mark we had. Even though you may be sitting in the vice chair, don't necessarily mean you're going to be the Pole Mark. You know, if your leadership skills are there, we're there. But that's politics, baby. It's in everything. Well, Brother Lawson was sitting out there in the stands. He wasn't on the board or anything. He was just a good old regular paying brother. And the brother set him up. Before he knew it, he said, yeah, I'll accept it. I'll be Pole Mark of Charlotte alumni. And he got set up and done a great job. Moved the fraternity, moved the chapter in a lot of positive ways. So I say thank you, Frank. It is my pleasure to be with you this evening to celebrate your 50th anniversary. to share a few words, a few thoughts, and a few things that will help us reflect and appreciate and pay homage to the founders, but more importantly, it's a call to action. As I've been taught to say, I'll be brief no matter how long it takes. Foremost, I'd like to thank the past and current members of Delta Chi Chapter and my friend Frank Lawson for this invitation. For I'm humbled and honored to share this room with so many good Kappas, rather great Kappas, many of whom I have known and had the pleasure of knowing for several years. I'm sure any one of these Kappas could stand before you and I believe give you a resounding message. For we're all a great Kappa men. So I am truly thankful, as Grand Polmark said, for this opportunity to be a part of this momentous occasion. But really, I consider a lot of you to be my personal friends, Brother Lee, not just fraternity brothers, Brother Roland, Martin. For you have watched over me while I have matriculated from a young, ambitious, often hyper young man into a much wiser, still a little bit hyper older man. Look great, look bald head. I'm gonna cut it off, Frank, after a while. Give me some time. Many of you are the ones that have helped to mold and shape my adult life and my Kappa life into what it is today. And I'm truly thankful for that. And I try not to let you down. If I do a good job, honeybee, pat yourself on the back. If I do a poorly job, it's your fault, Brother Reese. So before I proceed, I'd like to recognize a few individuals that are still achieving since leaving Delta Chi. Let it be said, you are no longer Delta Chi. Let me repeat that, Brother Lee. Let it be said, you are no longer Delta Chi. What are you saying, Brother Paul Mark? Well, what I'm saying is that you need to get active with some alumni chapter. Because you are not a member of Delta Chi. You are a past member of Delta Chi. If I look on the roll, I guarantee I won't see any of your names on it. If your name's on there, then you need to be sending my keeper of exchequer, Brother Bill Jones, some province dues and some chapter dues. So what I'm saying, brothers, is that come on home to Kappa. We need you. We love you. We want you. You see, if the founders are here today, I believe the founders of Kappa Psi, along with the charter members. The charter members are Brother Benjamin Dupree, Jerome Jewell, Moses Lucas, Dr. James Young, Gerald Johnson, Alan Vincent Robinson, Elman Robinson. I believe they would be proud of us. Some of us, they would be very disappointed. But I think they would say to Brother Charles Love, we're so proud of you that you have really continued to achieve in every field of human endeavor. As the Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs at University of South Carolina, I think they would say to Brother Joe Amado, that we're so proud to know that you are the CEO of the Ultra Group. And I think the founders would say, Brother Ron Buchanan, thank you for having that real deep argument, conversation, debate with the province poll market homecoming when you all just like ballot out and like, I agree with you, I don't agree with you, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm saying, well, get active and get active. And you said, okay, man, I get active. And you got active. Not only did you get active, you went over to Delta Chi and said, this is how we used to do it. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to stay on the yard. And not only that, you said, I'm going to Winston-Salem. I'm going to be poll market Winston-Salem. I think the founders would be very proud of you, Brother Buchanan. You know, when I think of Brother Armstrong talking to Brother Kelvin Farmer and saying, brother, you are really achieving. The owner of the Southeastern Jackson here, and also a member of the Winston-Salem State University Foundation. Oh, then they would call out Brother Elliott Lemon and say, wow, financial advisor Waddell and Reed in Charlotte, also a member of the WSSU Foundation. I think the founders would say, Kevin Walton, keep on doing what you're doing as a director of purchasing in the city of Atlanta, a recent recipient of the Distinguished Award of the Winston-Salem State University. And then I think they would say, well, when we get in trouble, we don't need to worry about going outside the bond because we got Richard Shackford to take care of us. And then they would say, those young boys need some jobs and everything, but we got a brother named LeBoo Sanders, who's the CEO at S&A Tech Solutions. Let him go over there. And then You got that brother that went over the Desert Storm and protected us while we was here partying and having a good time, Brother Joe Biggers. And then, you know, when the storms come and everything get tough, guess what? We lead in every field of human endeavor. Not only are we lovers and policemen, we're fire chiefs. Brother Robert Rawls, fire chief of New Jersey, past pole mark of New Brunswick alumni. I think the founder would say, Terry Griffin, we're so proud of you that you are the Ultra Group Sales and Distribution Manager. Keep on achieving, Brother Griffin. And Frank Stowe, protecting the citizens of WINSTON-SALEM as a fireman, the founder would be very proud of you as well. Oh, and Mr. Excitement himself. I asked him tonight, did he have his pills, because he gets so excited about things. But you know, I'm talking about Brother Randy Willis, who went to Delta Gamma, and a chapter that was having all kind of problems. He took it upon himself to be the advisor and brought that chapter back. Oh, he would get mad at him. He called me and cursed me out and everything else. Don't quit. I tell him, don't quit. You can't quit. Just take your medicine, brother. And I know he cussed me out, but that's okay. He's still my brother. And to the Chancellor, Alex Johnson, hey, we need you in these schools, brother. We need you. And boy, I tell you, all that stuff going on up in Philadelphia, we need a good IT man. I think the brothers would say, Eric Hudson, continue doing what you're doing. And we got CEOs in every field, Roger Brown. And I can't say enough. Bow your head with me just for a minute. For the past Junior Province Vice Pole Mark in 1982, Brother Rodman Mason, rest in peace, my brother. And to Frank Lawson, what can I say? My boy. Got it going on. And I tell you, to look in the paper and to see your brothers achieving and to see your brothers, you know, got 3 and 4 businesses and they ain't got no pressure going on and they running everything left and right, everybody, and they so low key. You never know they got a business like that. I think the founder would say, Jeff Brody, keep on winning small business, man. And to my road dog who go everywhere with me, you got to watch him though, because I tell you, boy, he's a snatcher. Oh, honeybee! Honeybee! Oh, man. Killer and everything. Good dad, good grandfather, good friend, good KAPPA brother. Good KAPPA brother. And finally to my Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, brothers. Good evening once again. Amen. In my eyes, there is no substitute for nothing more important than loyalty. Your word is your bond, Brother Terry, and it's teamwork. Some of these individuals understand the man that I am. I'm a man of my word, a man of integrity. You see, last January 5th, 2010, marks the 99th year of KAPPA Alpha Psi Fraternity. 99 years. Every time I think about our fraternity turning 100 years old in 2011, I can't help but to think of the words of past Grand Pole Mark, Dr. Ulysses McBride. Brother McBride often asked the question, what would make a group of teenagers, Brother Jared, 20-year-olds, create something so enduring, so strong, so unique that the fraternity would be loved by so many for so long, my brothers? Just think what KAPPA has seen over the last 99 years. Jim Crow, the Great Depression, a world war, a civil war, a million-man march, 9/11, and even a black African-American president. Amen. Not Obama. I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about President Hussein Obama. That's how I introduce him. He's not Obama. He's President Obama. That's right. Right. And for us to maintain and gain strength and to become the largest and the most financial stable black Greek level organization in America, There's nothing like Fraternity, my brothers. We know that.
You know it.
That leads me to, I firmly believe that the true secret of Kappa success is built upon brotherhood, not to show to our brothers that no one will ever know about. It's every time you see your brother at church, you give him the grip, or when you take a moment to check out his son's first football game, Brother Honeybee, or when you have a few cold ones on a brother's 40th birthday, Brother Earl Reese, or when you attend a brother's retirement party, Brother Roland, or even when you are simply there for him during a grim interlude. It's the small things that give our brotherhood 99 years of staying power. Brothers, you see, just celebrating my 55th birthday some 10 months ago, and a month from now, becoming 56, I have spent more than half of my entire life in Kappa Alpha Psi. Half of my entire life in Kappa. Not Gamma Phi. Oh, I love Gamma Phi. Don't we, Reese? But, as Brother Lee said, I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi through Gamma Phi. You see, in 1973, when I left Gaston, Alabama, never could I imagine I would be involved in this thing like I am called Kappa Alpha Psi. I couldn't imagine that. And if you had told me I was going to be the Providence Pole Mark, I would have told you it was a lie. Because see, one of my mentors, the 16th Grand Pole Mark, the only Pole Mark who has held this position longer than any Pole Mark, 6 years and 7 months. Talking about smooth and swagger, for the mention. Brother C. Roger Wilson was a bad boy. And Brother C. Roger Wilson said, the office seek the man does not seek the office. Brother Lawson, that's why you got set up. Brother Gene Price, that's why you got set up. You didn't go out and campaign to be Pole Mark Shaw alumni. You got set up. The office seek the man does not seek the office. But like I said, never could I imagine I would be in this position. As Pole Mark in the Middle Eastern Province, I have been a successful leader, I believe, because of the things that you, my brother, have taught to me, Brother Martin, and calmed me down and helped me to understand. You see, I advanced my leadership in the Southeastern Province. When I first got out of school, I went straight to Augusta, Georgia, and I joined Augusta alumni and became advisor of Payne College, Epsilon Psi. I went right away because I joined Kappa, not Gamma Phi. But my humble beginning began in the Southern Province, Brother Reese. Everything I learned have come from the Middle Eastern Province, Brother Ross. I have some highs and some lows in my personal and professional and fraternal life. But Kappas and Kappa have been there for me. And they have been a great learning experience. Oh, brothers, on the job, Kappa has really helped me, because if you can deal with Kappa, you can deal with the job and the wife and everything else. Amen. Nevertheless, my passion for achievement keeps me focused. My dedication for Kappa Alpha Psi keeps me motivated. But most importantly, my respect for God's anonymous world keeps me grounded to everything I do. You see, last year, 2009, was an awful exciting year for Kappa Alpha Psi. See, in 2009, Charlotte alumni hosted the National Founders Day. And I'm not bragging, but I'm just giving you facts. It's been one of the best. Now, somebody else may say that, but I'm going to tell you, you ask any brother about coming to Charlotte, how was the Founders Day? A lot of tradition things that we do, other chapters and provinces have tried it. And we're not mad about that, because you know what? We're training for leadership. We want you to pick up what we do. And we want to come to your chapter, your province, and pick up what you do. Because, as the great Paul Monk said, one Kappa. Yeah. You know, we're doing cocktail and cufflinks right now in Charlotte. We don't want the brothers to change that name in Raleigh, New Brunswick, Durham, and nowhere. We want you to keep it cocktail and cufflinks, because it's a hit. It's a hit. And when those females come through town and they say the Kappa's having a cocktail and cufflink, oh, we know what that's like, so let's go. But when you change the name, things don't work out. You see, and we had the National Founders Day this year in Miami. It was good, but I believe some Omegas, I hate to say it, I believe some Omegas blew some purple dust on us. Because we was down in Miami and it was like 65 degrees and raining down there. Now, my wife may have did that, I don't know. But it was just ironic that we had bad weather in Miami. But that's okay. But as I say, 2009 was an awful exciting year. Oh yeah, we had our own frat brother. You know, I don't want to say this too loud, but Gene Price in the back. And I'm a Cowboy fan, but we had our own frat brother, Brother Mike Tomlin, to win the Super Bowl in 2009. It was a great year for us. Not only that, we elected our first black African-American president of these United States of America, President Barack Hussein Obama. Passing the health bill important to each one of us, we did that. How many of us in this room have loved ones that can't afford to go to a doctor or pay for a prescription? Our children and parents should not be held hostage because they can't afford to go. People on the other side of the Democratic Party don't understand what the health bill means. It's something for us. It's something for them as well. They just don't want to accept that the 44th president got it through. Our founders will be very proud of us that we elected a strong man to lead this country, God-fearing man. As I said, my message is in line with training for leadership, to make sure these brothers from Omicron Sigma and the brothers from Delta Chi follow our footsteps, become CEOs and presidents and chancellors and et cetera, fire chiefs, and all that kind of stuff. Training for leadership today and tomorrow, to fully understand my relevance in this world. Today and tomorrow we must understand from which we have come. What would the founders say if they was here today? I asked the question, Brother Martin, what would the founders say if they was here today? I would imagine in this 99th year of our existence, if one of all the founders were here this evening in this business owned by us, I'm sure one of them would say, a great job, Middle Eastern Province, a great job, WINSTON-SALEM alumni, a great job, Delta Chi. Congratulations on celebrating 99 years of with KAPPA and 50 years into the fraternity. We've come a mighty long way since the founding of January 5th, 1911, and more specifically since the founding of Delta Chi chapter, December 9th, 1960. And I have a simple philosophy in life that I live each day to its fullest, because tomorrow as well as your next breath is not promised. A rule of no regrets and no excuses how I approach each day, because time is something you can never get back. And back in the 70s, Tyrone Davis said, if I could turn back the hands of time, what it would be. See, I believe they would say, job well done to the 150,000 KAPPA men. I think they would be proud of the all past 30th grand pole marks that we've had. But I believe they would say to Dwayne and Mary Esquire, the 31st grand pole mark of KAPPA side, Brother grand pole mark, you have raised the bar and KAPPA Alpha Psi. Well, what are you saying? How have you raised the bar, my brothers? Well, what he's done, he's introduced us to an organization and a partnership with St. Jude. You see, in 2005, we partnered with St. Jude, and we told them we would give them $500,000 in 5 years. That's what we told St. Jude. KAPPA Alpha Psi, okay? The first year, we raised $280,000. The second year, we met our goal, okay? And as of right now, the fifth year is going to be next year, 2011. We got over $1.9 million that we've raised. And we're looking at a goal right now in 2011. And it's possible, brothers, that this grand pole mark we got is outstanding. He's awesome. So what else did this grand pole mark do? He's introduced GLAD, Greeks learning to avoid debt. We need to teach our young boys, our young brothers, how to avoid debt, because as they become seniors, they get all these credit cards in the mail, they just think it's free. Before you know it, they get out, they're way in debt over their head. He's introduced the CARE program, etc. We've had, KAPPA Alpha Psi has had an appearance on C-SPAN, the CBS Early Morning Show. We've had national recognition in Jet and Ebony magazine. We had a new format for our National Reclamation Drive, a national theme utilizing every level of the fraternity. Recognition on the ABC Extreme Makeover Home Edition. We had a panel participation in 2007, 8, 9, and 10 Congressional Black Caucus in Washington, D.C. We participated in a national program on every level of the fraternity. The Grand Pole Markers initiated a listening tour, and the National Founders Day hosted by the Middle Eastern Province was a success. I believe that Brother Diggs would say to Brother Armstrong and saying, look at Brother Frank Lawson. He's so cool for taking care of business and mentoring so many young brothers. I believe Brother John Milton Lee would say, Ron Buchanan, you were a good leader to that young brother, Jared Mitchell, by the things you did as poll marker Winston-Salem alumni, even though he got mad at you, but they would be proud of you. I believe they would say, Randy Willis, you were a big brother leadership that helped those brothers at Gamma Delta. I can't imagine that they would say the 44th president is one smart young man. And not only is he leading the country, but his top cop is someone look just like us. I believe, and I really believe the founders would say, those boys are doing the next level thinking. I think they would be smiling and saying, look at Dale Vereen. He's been a good father and a good grandfather he is. See, KAPPA philosophy is that most of us should understand. Let me start over, because I want to repeat that again. I'm probably going to do this about 3 or 4 times, because I want you to really get this here. See, KAPPA philosophy is that most of us should understand that there's only a small portion of this world over which you have control. This is your feeling and your action. The things you say and the things you do are simply put. Now, you may have control to influence other people, and that's where our focus should be. However, it seems too often we focus on controlling other people's actions and words, or worse yet, spending too much time worried about what others think, say, or do. You know, we get caught up over other people's action when we fail to realize we can't do a damn thing about other people and what they say or do. The sooner that we are erased as black men, as KAPPA men, KAPPA Alpha Psi men, not just say this, but start practicing this every day, the more we will achieve. See, I believe the founders would say, keep on achieving in every field of human endeavor, in science, arts, industry, religion, and all else to serve to promote the welfare of humanity. I believe they would say to the young KAPPAs, come to work and let those old brothers, the founders right here, the charter members, sit back and enjoy the good things that we're doing and smile and say, look at my boys out there. Further, I truly understand that no one achieves anything alone. Someone has to help you along the way. A family member, a KAPPA, a Q, an Alpha, an AK, a Delta, or someone has assisted in any of us achieving any or everything that we've done. This is something we should never forget. There are so many people in this room, I would want to thank you for all that you do for KAPPA. But I ask the question again, what would the founders say? Some would have comments and opinions on just about everything in the world, from the war, from the Iraq war, to the health bill, to Winston-Salem State, doing so great on the football field, 7-1. 7-1 Winston-Salem State. It is the reality of the world. I think some will be talking about the second African-American mayor in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is the reality of the world. We are all humans, including our reverend founders. The point of the matter is that our founders would likely be involved in every aspect of life and every human endeavor, because that's how we've been trained. That's what KAPPA is all about. Reverend founders, yes, human, intelligent, astute, knowledgeable, and young men, first and foremost, long before KAPPA aside. It took men of character. KAPPA didn't make them into what they are today. They made KAPPA into their image. They made KAPPA into their image. With that being said, for a minute, I would like for you to ponder. I have on many occasions about what the founders would say. What would they say to you, Brother Saunders, Brother Brown? What would they say to each of us individually and collectively? The founders would say some of the profound things to observe. Those of us who have lost loved ones, I'm sure, have talked about hearing them speaking to us from time to time, saying, do not ruin my name. Do not hurt my good name. For me, I can always hear my father saying, boy, do not mess up my name. I will break every bone in your back. Other important people in my life who have passed on do the same thing. I'm sure that they do it with you. And yes, as I go through my life as a KAPPA, I hear the founders talking to me. The biggest thing I hear is just like my father, do the right thing. As I take you down this path for the next few minutes, let me provide some structure of this journey. I'm known for creating my own path, doing things my way, and tonight is no different. However, as I do, let me give you some benchmarks to keep you on track. I like to think of the 10 founders speaking to us this evening. I would venture to say that things would be simpler to what the character members of this great chapter would say to the individual assembly here this evening. Now, in regard to the founding of Delta Chi, we all know the great 50-year history of Delta Chi. Look around the room and look at all the brothers are here. Try to understand what these 10 men were going through in a predominant white campus, and still the balls to go forth and give credits and structure and credibility to Kappa Psi. And to think that these were young men, college-age students, that in itself is an achievement, and sometimes some of us forget the sacrifice they made to have each one of us sitting here today as members of the greatest fraternity in the world. They made sacrifice. A birth certificate shows that we are born. A death certificate shows that we died. Picture shows that we live. Brother, stay seated and relax just for a minute. You see, I believe, Brother Honeybee, that just because two brothers argue, that doesn't mean they don't love each other. And just because they don't argue, it doesn't mean they do leave each other. So I believe, Brother Harry Lee, that we don't have to change brothers if we understand that brothers change. See, I believe, Brother Buchanan, that no matter how good a brother is, they're going to hurt you every once in a while, and you must forgive them for that. See, I believe, Brother Martin, that you can do something in an instant that will give you a headache for life. See, I believe, Brother Price, that it's taken Kappa a long time to become the fraternity it wants to be. So I believe, Brother Terry, that you should always leave Kappa brothers with 11 words. It may be the last time you see them. I believe, Brother Lawson, that Kappas can keep going long after you think you can't. See, I believe, Brother Roland Martin, that Kappas are responsible for what we do, no matter how we feel. See, I believe that either you control your attitude or it controls you. I believe, Brother Mitchell, that heroes are the people who do what has to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of the consequences. See, I believe that money is a lousy way of keeping score. I believe that my friend and I can do something and nothing and have the best of time. I believe that sometimes Kappas you expect to keep you when you're down will be the one to help you get back up. See, I believe that sometimes when I'm angry, I have the right to be angry, but that doesn't give me the right to be cruel. I believe that the maturity has more to do with what type of experience you've had and what you learned from them, and less to do with how many birthdays you have. See, I believe that it isn't always enough to be forgiven by a brother. Sometimes you have to learn to forgive yourself. See, I believe that no matter how bad your heart is broken, the world doesn't stop just for your grief. See, I believe, Brother Leek, that your background and your circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. See, I believe that you shouldn't be so eager to find out a secret. It could change your life forever. I believe that two people look at the exact same thing and see something totally different. I believe that your life can be changed in a matter of hours by people who don't even know you. I believe that even when you think you have no more to give, when a Kappa cries out, you will find the strength to help. I believe that the credentials on the wall do not make you a decent human being. I believe that people you care about in life are taken from you too soon sometimes. I believe that you should repeat this to all the people you believe in, just as I'm doing. The happiest people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the most of everything. Thank you, God, for all the wonderful people who have helped us throughout this journey of life. My angels guard you and guide you. Brothers, good evening and thank you.